Improve yourself 1% every day. One of the greatest discoveries of my life is this: I don't have to change everything overnight to build a life I'm proud of. I don't need to become a new person by the end of the week. Real, lasting success is not built on massive leaps. It's built on small steps. Steps I take every single day, even when no one is watching. If I can just get a little bit better each day, if I can improve myself by just 1%, that growth will compound into a future more incredible than anything I can even imagine today. It's not about perfection, it's about direction. It's about setting a course and moving forward with intention, with commitment, with heart. I used to think that success belonged to the lucky, the talented, the chosen few. But then I realized the real winners in life are the ones who master small daily disciplines. They are not always the loudest or the most naturally gifted. They are the ones who choose day after day, moment after moment, to invest in their own improvement, even when it would be easier to coast, to complain, to quit. I have learned that each day is a blank canvas. Each sunrise brings me the gift of a brand new opportunity to get just a little better, a little wiser, a little stronger, a little kinder, a little braver. If I can do that, if I can honor today by growing just 1%, then success is not a matter of if, it's simply a matter of when. This philosophy doesn't just apply to big goals like building a business or mastering a skill. It touches every area of my life: my health, my relationships, my mindset, my character. Improving 1% every day means asking myself better questions. It means choosing the salad over the fries. It means reading 10 pages when I'd rather scroll my phone. It means apologizing first, listening longer, standing a little taller, showing up a little stronger. The beauty of this approach is that it's doable. No matter how busy I am, no matter how tired, no matter how far I feel from my goals, I can always find one small way to grow today. One action, one decision, one choice closer to the person I want to become. I've come to believe that if I honor the 1% today, the 1% will honor me tomorrow. The seeds I plant now, even if they are tiny, will grow roots deeper and stronger than I can see. And someday, when the seasons change, they will burst into harvests so abundant, they'll astonish even me. Success isn't magical. It's mechanical. It's a daily practice of doing the right things, the small things, over and over, until excellence becomes my second nature. So today, I recommit myself to the simple, powerful discipline. Improve yourself 1% every day. And tomorrow, I'll do it again. Start with a clear vision. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must start with a clear vision. I can't move forward without knowing where I'm headed. Progress without direction is like rowing a boat in the middle of the ocean without a compass. No matter how hard I work, I'll never reach a destination if I don't know what it is. A clear vision gives meaning to my daily actions. It transforms small steps into a journey with purpose. When I sit quietly and really think about who I want to become, what kind of life I want to build, what values I want to embody, I begin to create a powerful magnet in my mind, pulling me toward that future. Without vision, every distraction looks like an opportunity, and every obstacle looks like a wall. But with vision, I can see clearly what matters and what doesn't. I stop wasting energy on things that don't serve my future. I stop saying yes to what only deserves a no. I become intentional about my time, my energy, my resources. Vision is what helps me endure the hard days. It reminds me why I started when quitting feels easier. It lifts me higher when circumstances try to pull me down. It fuels my discipline, sharpens my focus, and strengthens my resilience. Having a vision doesn't mean I have to know every detail. It just means I have to see the bigger picture. I need to know what mountain I'm climbing, even if I can't yet see every step of the trail. Success isn't an accident. Growth doesn't happen by chance. They are built by men and women who dared to dream, dared to define their dreams clearly, and dared to pursue them daily. My vision becomes the filter for my choices. Every decision I make either takes me closer to or further away from the life I envision. When my vision is strong enough, it pulls me through the doubts, through the distractions, through the disappointments. It becomes the voice inside that whispers, "Keep going, you're getting closer," even when results are not yet visible. I believe that clarity breeds confidence. The clearer I am about what I want, the more confidently I can walk toward it. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to know how everything will unfold. I just have to take the next right step, guided by the picture I hold in my mind and heart. So I take time to define my vision. I write it down. I visualize it every morning before the world gets busy. I remind myself who I'm becoming and why it matters. I build emotional connection to that future so strong that giving up is no longer an option. Every day when I wake up, my vision greets me. It challenges me. It inspires me. And every night before I sleep, I ask myself if my actions honored that vision. This is how I know I'm growing. This is how I know I'm moving in the right direction. Because when I start with a clear vision and commit to improving just 1% every day, the future I once dreamed of will one day be the life I'm living. Believe in the power of small wins. If I want to change my life, I must learn to believe in the power of small wins. I used to think that success was about big breakthroughs, the grand moments when everything changes overnight. But the truth is, the people who build extraordinary lives are not the ones who wait for the big moment. They are the ones who stack up small wins day after day, year after year. A small win may not look like much in the moment. An extra 10 minutes reading, one more healthy meal, a single honest conversation, one step taken when I felt like sitting down. But those tiny victories are the bricks that build the castle. When I honor the small wins, I stay in motion, and momentum, once built, becomes a powerful force working in my favor. I have realized that it's not about doing one huge thing one time. It's about doing one small right thing 1,000 times over. Every time I keep a promise to myself, even a tiny one, I build self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of real confidence. It's easy to overlook small wins because they don't always come with fireworks. Nobody throws a party when I choose to read instead of scrolling my phone, or when I go for a walk instead of skipping exercise, or when I save a little money instead of spending it. But those invisible wins are where real character is forged. Those are the choices that, compounded over time, separate an extraordinary life from an ordinary one. Small wins are proof that I'm moving forward, even if the progress is slow. And slow progress is still progress. I remind myself every day, the one who stays consistent with small wins will outpace the one who waits for the perfect moment. Success doesn't favor the most talented or the most inspired. It favors the most disciplined. When I learn to see and celebrate the small wins, I fuel my own motivation. I stop relying on external praise. I become my own source of encouragement. Every evening, I can look back and say, today I won. I showed up. I kept moving forward. That kind of mindset builds a life of unstoppable momentum. It's easy to dream big and do nothing. It's easy to get overwhelmed by how far the finish line seems. But when I focus on winning the day, winning the moment, the impossible starts to look possible. One push-up turns into a healthy body. One page turns into a library of knowledge. One good decision turns into a life of wisdom. So I remind myself every morning, today's small win matters. It may not seem like much now, but it is a seed, and in time, it will bear fruit. If I just get a little better today, one small improvement, one small victory, I am building a life that most people only dream of. And that is how I become unstoppable, not by waiting for miracles, but by mastering the magic of small wins. Commit to daily learning. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must make a serious commitment to daily learning. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens on purpose, and that purpose is fueled by what I put into my mind each day. I've learned that the mind is like a garden. If I don't plant good seeds intentionally, weeds will grow automatically. The world will fill my mind with noise, distractions, and negativity if I don't take charge of what I feed it. Every single day, I have the chance to learn something that moves me closer to the person I want to become. Maybe it's a chapter from a book, a new word in a different language, a piece of advice from a mentor, or even a lesson learned from a mistake. Learning doesn't always look glamorous. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, because it forces me to confront what I don't know. But I would rather be temporarily uncomfortable from learning than permanently stuck because of ignorance. Every morning I ask myself, what can I learn today? Every evening I ask, what did I learn today? I know that daily learning doesn't have to be dramatic to be powerful. Reading for 15 minutes a day might not seem life-changing at first, but over a year, that's hours of new knowledge shaping my thinking, expanding my perspective, and sharpening my skills. I don't have to master everything in one day. I just have to stay hungry, stay curious, and stay committed to getting a little wiser, a little sharper, a little better with each passing day. Learning daily keeps my mind flexible. It keeps me humble. It reminds me that no matter how much I know, there is always more to discover. It teaches me patience, because real wisdom takes time to build. It teaches me gratitude, because every new idea, every new lesson, is a gift that can change my life if I'm willing to apply it. I choose to treat learning as a daily ritual, not a random event. I build it into my mornings, my commutes, my evenings. I listen to audiobooks instead of mindless noise. I read articles that challenge my thinking instead of only confirming it. I ask better questions instead of settling for easy answers. When others waste time waiting for inspiration, I invest time acquiring the knowledge that will create my own inspiration. Daily learning is how I stay ahead, not just in my career, but in my life. It's how I adapt when the world changes. It's how I solve problems, create opportunities, and recognize blessings that others miss. I understand now that formal education might make me a living, but self-education will make me a fortune in my relationships, in my character, in my contribution to the world. So every day, without fail, I show up for my mind. I pick up the book, I listen to the mentor, I reflect on the lesson. And in doing so, I become a little stronger, a little wiser, and a lot more unstoppable than I was yesterday. Take responsibility for your growth. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must take full responsibility for my own growth. No one else can do the work for me. No one else can make me wiser, stronger, healthier, more disciplined. That's my job, and the sooner I accept that, the sooner I take control of my future. It's easy to blame circumstances, to point fingers at the past, to make excuses about why I'm not where I want to be. But excuses don't pay off. Responsibility does. The moment I stop waiting for someone to come and rescue me, the moment I stop hoping that luck will hand me success, that's the moment I start to become powerful. Growth is not something that happens to me. It's something that happens because of me. I am not a victim of my environment. I am not a prisoner of my past. I am the architect of my future. And every choice I make today is a brick in the foundation of that future. I've learned that taking responsibility means I stop complaining and start creating. It means when something goes wrong, I don't just look outward, I look inward. I ask, what can I do better? How can I grow from this? What lesson is hidden in this challenge? Life is not about what happens to me. It's about how I respond. And every day I get to choose my response. Some days, growth feels exciting. Other days, it feels painful. But either way, it's mine to own. Responsibility is not a burden. It's a blessing, because it means I am in control. I don't have to wait for perfect conditions. I don't have to wait for permission. I can begin exactly where I am with what I have, doing what I can. If I want better results, I need to become a better person. If I want more opportunities, I need to prepare myself to recognize and seize them. If I want a better life, it starts with building a better me. It's tempting to think that someone else has it easier, that someone else is luckier. But I know that true growth belongs to those who are willing to take full ownership of their journey. When I own my mistakes, I learn faster. When I own my successes, I stay humble. When I own my future, I become unstoppable. I remind myself daily, no one is coming to push me, to fix me, to save me. I am responsible for pushing myself, for fixing what needs fixing, for saving the potential inside of me from being wasted. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. And progress only comes when I am honest enough, brave enough, and committed enough to take responsibility for it. Every time I choose responsibility over blame, action over excuse, learning over denial, I move one step closer to the person I am meant to become. And that, more than anything else, is the real victory. Master your morning. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must master my morning. How I start my day shapes everything that follows. I've learned that a strong morning doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. If I leave my morning to chance, chances are it will be rushed, distracted, and reactive. But if I take control of those first quiet hours, I take control of my life. My morning is my secret weapon. It's the time when the world is still, when my mind is freshest, when my energy is purest. If I win the morning, I set a powerful tone of intention, focus, and momentum for the rest of the day. Mastering my morning doesn't mean I have to do 100 things before breakfast. It means I choose a few simple, powerful habits that align me with the person I want to become. Maybe it's a few minutes of gratitude, reminding myself of all that is good and abundant in my life. Maybe it's a few pages of a great book to feed my mind before the noise of the world begins. Maybe it's moving my body, getting my blood flowing, waking up my spirit as well as my muscles. Maybe it's simply sitting quietly, breathing deeply, setting my intentions before the demands of the day rush in. I don't need to copy someone else's routine. I just need a morning that anchors me, energizes me, and reminds me of who I am and what I'm aiming for. The discipline of mastering my morning teaches me something bigger. It teaches me that I am in charge of my time, my choices, my mindset. It's a daily declaration that my life is not controlled by alarms, notifications, or other people's emergencies. It's controlled by me. When I master my morning, I make my growth non-negotiable. I don't have to wait for motivation to strike later in the day. I start the day already winning. I don't get thrown off by the inevitable chaos of life because I've already grounded myself in my own strength before the world even had a chance to test me. Even when I'm tired, even when I'm busy, I honor my morning ritual. because I know the compound effect it creates. 10 strong mornings become a strong month. 12 strong months become a strong year. A lifetime of strong mornings becomes a legacy. I understand now that my future isn't created in one dramatic decision. It's created in the quiet discipline of mornings that most people waste. Every morning I have a choice to drift into the day or to design it. And every time I choose to design it, to start with gratitude, purpose, and action, I move one step closer to the life I dream of. So I protect my mornings fiercely. I wake up with intention. I feed my mind, my body, my spirit. I remind myself that each morning is a brand new vote for the person I am becoming. And day by day, morning by morning, I am building a life of strength, clarity, and unstoppable progress. Track your progress. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must track my progress. Growth doesn't happen in the dark. Progress isn't just something I hope for, it's something I measure. I used to think that tracking was unnecessary, that I could just trust myself to notice improvement over time. But the truth is, what gets measured gets improved. Without tracking, it's easy to lie to myself, to think I'm moving forward when I'm really just spinning my wheels. But when I track my progress, I force myself to see the truth clearly, where I'm growing, where I'm stuck, and where I need to course correct. Tracking isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. It's about creating a mirror that reflects my efforts back to me, so I can celebrate the wins and learn from the losses. Maybe it's journaling a few sentences each night about what I did well and what I can do better. Maybe it's checking off a small habit tracker that reminds me every day that consistency matters more than intensity. Maybe it's simply taking a moment each week to review my actions and ask, am I getting closer to the life I want or further away? When I track, I turn vague dreams into concrete goals. I stop drifting and start driving. I stop guessing and start knowing. Tracking gives me momentum because it shows me that even when the changes feel tiny, they are adding up. It's like planting seeds. At first, I don't see anything happening above the soil. But when I look closely at the patterns, I realize the roots are growing strong underneath. It's easy to get discouraged when I don't track, because growth often feels invisible. But when I have a record of my efforts, I can look back and see how far I've already come. I can remind myself that every page read, every workout finished, every uncomfortable conversation faced, every small discipline honored is part of a bigger story unfolding. Tracking also holds me accountable. It reminds me that improvement is not something I think about. It's something I do. It's easy to make excuses in my head. It's harder to make excuses on paper. When I track, I can't hide from myself. And that kind of honesty, though uncomfortable at times, is the birthplace of real transformation. Tracking doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. A simple notebook, a calendar, a checklist, anything that helps me stay awake and engaged with my journey. I treat tracking like a conversation with my future self, a way of saying, I'm taking you seriously. I'm doing my part today so that you have something better tomorrow. Every time I track my progress, I build belief. Belief that change is happening. Belief that effort matters. Belief that I'm capable of more than I thought. And with each tracked step, no matter how small, I move closer to the life I know I'm meant to live. Embrace discomfort. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must embrace discomfort. Growth and comfort do not live on the same street. I used to wish that becoming better would feel easy, natural, even effortless. But the truth is, real growth always demands a price, and that price is usually paid in discomfort. Discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a signal that something is changing. Every time I step outside of what's familiar, every time I challenge myself to do something I've never done before, I feel it. The tightness in my chest, the resistance in my mind, the urge to turn back to safety. But I've learned that if I push through that barrier, if I lean into the discomfort instead of retreating from it, I come out stronger, braver, and more capable on the other side. Discomfort is the gym where my potential gets trained. Without it, my growth remains theoretical. With it, my growth becomes real. I remind myself daily, comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing ever grows there. If I stay where it's safe, where it's easy, where it's predictable, I might avoid short-term pain, but I'll also guarantee long-term regret. I choose to face the uncomfortable conversations, to chase the intimidating goals, to try the things I'm not good at yet. Not because I enjoy struggling, but because I enjoy who I become through the struggle. Every time I do something that stretches me, even a little, I expand my capacity. I build resilience, the ability to keep moving forward when life doesn't go according to plan. I build courage, the ability to act, even when fear whispers that I shouldn't. I build confidence, not by talking about what I'll do someday, but by doing the hard things today. Discomfort has taught me more than comfort ever could. It has shown me where I am still weak and given me the chance to become strong. It has exposed my excuses and forced me to build real discipline instead. It has revealed hidden talents, hidden strengths, hidden levels of determination that I never would have discovered if I stayed on the easy path. I've learned that the goal is not to eliminate discomfort. It's to get comfortable being uncomfortable, to welcome it as a companion on my journey, knowing that every time I feel it, I am right on the edge of another breakthrough. So when discomfort shows up, and it always does, I no longer see it as a reason to quit. I see it as proof that I am in the arena, that I am playing the game, that I am moving toward a bigger life. Growth is not supposed to feel easy. It's supposed to feel challenging, stretching, even a little scary. That's how I know it's working. And every time I embrace discomfort, every time I choose growth over ease, I move 1% closer to becoming the unstoppable person I am destined to be. Guard your environment. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must guard my environment. Growth is not just about what I do. It's also about what surrounds me. I used to think that willpower alone was enough, that I could rise above any negativity, any distraction, any bad influence just by trying harder. But the truth is, environment often wins. If I surround myself with chaos, I will live a chaotic life. If I surround myself with excellence, I will rise to a higher standard without even realizing it. My environment either feeds my growth or starves it. It either inspires me to become better or tempts me to settle for less. Every day, I'm being influenced, consciously or unconsciously, by the people I interact with, the content I consume, the places I spend my time. So I have to ask myself hard questions. Are the people around me building me up or tearing me down? Is the information I'm absorbing strengthening my mind or polluting it? Are the spaces I spend time in energizing me or draining me? Growth is a delicate thing. It needs protection, especially in the early stages. Just like a young plant needs good soil, clean water, and plenty of sunlight, my potential needs the right conditions to flourish. I cannot afford to be casual about who I let into my inner circle. I cannot afford to be careless about the ideas I allow into my mind. I choose to be intentional about my environment because I know my future depends on it. Sometimes guarding my environment means making difficult decisions. It means limiting time with people who are constantly negative, critical, or stuck in victim thinking. It means turning off the noise, the endless social media scrolling, the mindless entertainment, and choosing instead to feed my mind with things that challenge me, stretch me, and lift me higher. It means creating spaces that inspire me, even if it's just a clean desk, a good book within reach, and a few quiet moments each day to reconnect with my vision. When I guard my environment, I make growth easier. I stack the deck in my favor. I set myself up for success not by relying on willpower alone, but by surrounding myself with conditions that naturally pull the best out of me. Excellence is contagious, just like mediocrity is. If I want to become excellent, I must get around people who are already living the way I want to live, thinking the way I want to think, achieving the way I want to achieve. Their energy will lift me. Their habits will influence me. Their standards will challenge me to rise higher. Every day I remind myself, I am the gatekeeper of my mind, my energy, and my dreams. If something doesn't nourish my growth, it doesn't get access. If someone doesn't respect my journey, they don't get a front row seat. Growth is too precious, too rare, too hard-won to leave unguarded. And by protecting my environment, I protect the person I am becoming. One strong, intentional, unstoppable day at a time. Stay patient and persistent. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must stay patient and persistent. Growth doesn't happen as fast as I would like it to. Progress isn't always visible. Results don't always come on my timeline. But I've learned that success belongs not to those who sprint for a day and collapse, but to those who keep walking, step by step, even when the finish line seems far away. Patience is my secret weapon. Persistence is my daily discipline. Together, they are the unstoppable force that turns small daily actions into extraordinary achievements. I remind myself that a tree doesn't bear fruit the day it's planted. It takes time, nurturing, and seasons of invisible work beneath the surface. My dreams are no different. Just because I can't see immediate results doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Every good choice I make, every skill I build, every habit I strengthen is adding layers to my future, even if those layers are not yet visible. The mistake most people make is quitting too soon. They dig for gold, find nothing in the first few feet, and walk away, never realizing they were inches from a breakthrough. I refuse to make that mistake. I understand that anything worthwhile takes longer than I wish it would. But that's not a reason to get discouraged. It's a reason to double down on my faith and my effort. Every day I show up. Every day I take the next step. Some days it's easy, most days it's not. But I keep moving anyway, because I know the cost of inconsistency is greater than the cost of patience. I don't need massive leaps of progress. I just need tiny, consistent steps forward. I trust that if I keep planting seeds, watering them and protecting them, the harvest will come. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually. And when it does, it will be worth every quiet, unseen effort I made along the way. Persistence is how I turn potential into reality. It's easy to be excited at the beginning of a journey. It's much harder to stay committed when the excitement wears off and the work feels ordinary. But that's exactly when persistence matters most. I train myself to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. I find pride in showing up, even when no one notices. I find strength in doing the right thing, even when there's no applause. I trust the process because I know that quitting guarantees failure, but that persistence guarantees growth. Every time I stay patient instead of panicking. Every time I stay persistent instead of giving up, I build the muscle of character. I become someone who can be trusted with bigger dreams, bigger responsibilities, and bigger rewards. I remind myself, time will pass anyway. A year from now, I can either look back with regret that I gave up or pride that I stayed the course. I choose pride. I choose persistence. I choose patience. Because I know that 1% better every day, multiplied over time, will create a life beyond anything I could ever achieve in a single lucky break. Reflect and reset each night. If I want to improve myself 1% every day, I must reflect and reset each night. Growth is not just about pushing forward blindly. It's about pausing, thinking, and adjusting my course. Every evening, before the world goes quiet and sleep carries me into a new day, I take a few minutes to look back and ask myself important questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What lesson did today teach me? This simple habit turns every day into a building block for the future. Without reflection, days blur together. Wins go unnoticed. Mistakes repeat themselves. But when I pause and reflect, I catch the lessons life is trying to teach me. I gather the wisdom hidden in both my successes and my failures. I grow not just from experience, but from evaluated experience. Reflection keeps me honest with myself. It reminds me that growth is not automatic. It's intentional. It's the product of conscious awareness, not wishful thinking. When I take time to reflect, I turn even my setbacks into stepping stones. I turn small victories into foundations for bigger wins. I stop drifting through life and start designing it, one thoughtful evening at a time. But reflection alone is not enough. I must also reset. Each night is a chance to lay down the burdens of the day and prepare for a new beginning. No matter how good or bad today was, tomorrow is a clean slate. If today was full of victories, I celebrate. But I don't coast. If today was full of struggles, I learn. But I don't carry guilt into the next day. I reset my mind. I reset my attitude. I reset my commitment to becoming the best version of myself. I forgive myself for what I didn't do perfectly. I honor myself for the effort I gave. I fall asleep not with regret, but with gratitude for the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to try again. Reflecting and resetting teaches me resilience. It teaches me that every day is both a test and a teacher. It reminds me that progress is not about being flawless. It's about being faithful to the journey. It gives me the clarity and motivation I need to wake up the next morning ready to chase 1% more. I don't let yesterday's mistakes define me. I don't let yesterday's victories make me complacent. Each night, I harvest the lessons of the day and plant the seeds for a better tomorrow. This small ritual keeps me aligned with my vision. It keeps me humble. It keeps me hungry. And it keeps me moving forward even when life gets messy. Success is not a single act. It's the accumulation of thousands of tiny improvements, day after day, year after year. And the habit of reflecting and resetting ensures that I never lose sight of that. Every night I ask myself, did I grow today? Did I live today with purpose? And no matter the answer, I close my eyes, knowing that tomorrow I get to try again, stronger, wiser, and 1% better. Commit to your growth journey. At the end of the day, greatness isn't reserved for the lucky few. It's not about winning the lottery of talent or circumstance. It's about showing up every day and doing what most people are unwilling to do, investing in yourself, even when the results aren't immediate, even when no one else is clapping. Success is not one giant leap. It's 1,000 small steps, taken faithfully, consistently, intentionally. If I improve myself by just 1% every day, by learning, by acting, by reflecting, by pushing through the hard moments, then in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, my life will be unrecognizable in the best way possible. The future is built by what I choose today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, right now. Growth is a decision, and today I decide to become unstoppable. I choose the discipline of daily improvement. I choose the quiet victories that compound into extraordinary results. I choose to live by design, not by default. And if you're ready to make that choice too, you're in the right place. Here at Cozy English, we believe in daily progress. We believe in nurturing not just your English skills, but your mindset, your habits, your confidence, 1% at a time. Every video on this channel is created to support your journey of self-improvement, learning, and personal growth. So if today's message resonated with you, make a decision right now. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video to support your growth community, and join us every single day for new inspiration, powerful lessons, and practical steps to keep moving forward, stronger, wiser, and better than ever. Your future self is already thanking you. Let's build something extraordinary. One day, one step, 1% improvement at a time.